After studying this module, you shall be able to understand what dummy variables are. Next, it will discuss the use of dummy variables, and this module will also equip you with what are ANOVA models and their applicability.
Keeping previous learning of regression in mind, it must have struck you that why only quantitative variables are being used as explanatory variables in all the regression models. Is there no place for qualities and attributes in econometric modeling? This module will cater to all these thoughts of yours. Dear students, I am Professor Suresh Agarwal. So far, you have been exposed to various concepts of econometrics. Turn by turn, each of the assumptions of classical linear regression model have been relaxed. This module will take you further into your journey of learning econometrics. It will introduce you to the concept of dummy variable. Further, it will explain how dummy variables are used, and then we'll talk about the ANOVA models. Among various techniques available, dummy variable is one of the most popular and easy to use techniques for incorporating attributes as explanatory variables into an econometric model by means of using 0 and 1. 0 is generally used for a benchmark attribute, which could also denote the absence of the attribute, and 1 is used to show the presence of the attribute. For example, if we try to measure the gender of a person in terms of male and female, either male or female could be attributed a number 0 and the other sex could be attributed number 1. 0 is generally given to the benchmark category, which is the category with which the other category is compared. After introducing a dummy variable into a regression model, it no more remains a simple regression model, rather it becomes an ANOVA model, that is analysis of variance model. It is interesting to note that more than one dummy variable can be used in a single model. Though it is an interesting technique to use, but it needs to be used cautiously. All this and much more is explained by this module using various examples and illustrations in detail, which will create clear understanding of these concepts and make you aware how to convert qualitative attributes into quantitative numbers and use them in regression analysis.
On observing around oneself, we come across not only numbers and quantities, but also attributes and qualities. The quantitative that we commonly use include prices of goods and services, money income, wages, and so on and so forth. Image of price. Whereas on the other hand, management, honesty, beauty, and the list goes on. On one hand, we buy a pen of rupees 10. On the other, we admire the beauty of the Himalayas. Likewise, regression is no different. Generally, in regression analysis, we use quantitative variables as explanatory variables. A very commonly quoted example may be income as a function of consumption and savings, where both consumption and savings can be expressed in quantitative terms. But there may be cases where the dependent variable has significant influence of a qualitative variable. In such cases, qualitative variables can also be used to capture all the effects on the dependent variable, for example, as explanatory or independent variables. For instance, net profits may be influenced by good management, coordination between departments, etc. Attributes or qualitative variables can be quantified by using an artificial variable called dummy variable. It is generally denoted by D and takes binary values of 0 and 1. When D takes a value of 0, it shows the absence of the attribute. On the other hand, when D takes the value 1, it shows the presence of the attribute. The nominal scale is used for such variables as variables in this category have none of the features of the ratio scale variables. Variables such as gender, for example male and female, or marital status, which means married, unmarried, divorced, separated, they simply denote categories. Now the question arises that why dummy variables cannot be expressed on the ratio, interval, or ordinal scales. It is so because econometric techniques that may be suitable for ratio scale variables may not be suitable for nominal scale variables due to the distinct properties of dummy variables. Indicator variables, dichotomous variables, binary variables, or categorical variables are the other names for such variables. Regression models, which include qualitative variables as explanatory variables, are called analysis of variance models. Such models are popularly termed as ANOVA models. Yi is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1 di plus mu I, where y is the dependent variable, alpha 1 is intercept, beta 1 is equal to slope, d is dummy variable, and mu is the error term. As stated above, when d takes a value of 0, it shows the absence of the attribute. On the other hand, when d takes the value 1, it shows the presence of the attribute. Here it is important to note that the dependent variable is quantitative and the error term satisfies all the assumptions of classical linear regression model. It should be kept in mind that an ANOVA model may consist of two or more qualitative variables with two attributes. In this example, we illustrate the use of a dummy variable with a series of regressions to check how the cost of running a secondary school can vary with the type of a school. Effectively, we want to check if the marginal cost is the same for each type of a school. That means if beta 1 is equal to beta 2. A model thus could be formed as follows using two equations. Cost I is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1 r plus mu 1 for regular schools, and cost I equal to alpha 2 plus beta 2 O plus mu 2 for occupational schools. In these two above equations, where cost I is equal to total cost of running the secondary school, alpha 1 is the fixed cost of running regular schools, alpha 2 is the fixed cost of running occupational schools. Beta 1 is the marginal cost of running regular schools. And beta 2 is the marginal cost of running occupational schools. Equation 1 represents the total cost of running a regular school, where alpha 1 is the fixed cost of running the school, whereas beta 1 is a slope coefficient and represents the marginal cost of running regular schools. Equation 2, on the contrary, represents the total cost of running occupational schools, where alpha 2 is the fixed cost of running the school, whereas beta 2 is a slope coefficient and represents the marginal cost of running occupational schools. As we are now aware that what the different components of this example are, this simple table explains how we can simplify the regression by the use of dummy variable d. The table above shows that both the types of schools can be represented in binary form using dummy variable. As there are two categories of schools, occupational and regular, we have assigned binary digits to each of the categories to represent them by dummy. As the table shows, we have given 1 to occupational schools and 0 to regular schools. We can assign any of the two binaries to any of the categories, but it will have some minor influence on the results. We will study that later. Using dummy variable, one can rewrite the model. Cost I is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1 di plus mu I, where d is a dummy variable, an artificial variable with two possible values 0 and 1. D is equal to 0 for regular schools and equal to 1 for occupational schools. Introduction of a single dummy variable to represent two categories of schools is undertaken to introduce a common dummy. The reason for doing so have been explained later. The cost of running an occupational school, putting di equal to 0, is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1 into 0 is equal to alpha 1 and represents the mean cost of running regular schools. On the other hand, mean cost of running occupational schools is represented by the equation B, where the expected or mean value of the cost of running an occupational school, putting di equal to 1, is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1 into 1, that is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1. Alpha 1 is the mean cost of running regular schools and beta 1 represents by how much the mean cost of running occupational schools, alpha 1 plus beta 1, differ from the mean cost of running regular schools. The above equations differ from normal regression equations as we have used a dummy variable. This example clearly shows that use to dummy variables to represent an attribute not only combines the regression equations, but it also simplifies the task of regression. But caution needs to be taken while interpreting the coefficients and while choosing the number of dummies to be introduced. The base category is the category to which no dummy is assigned. All the comparisons are done with respect to this category. These are also termed as reference or benchmark or comparison category. As shown in the above example, the value of the intercept, that is alpha 1, represents the mean cost of running regular schools, is the base category. It may be a common question that which category should be chosen as the base category and what difference can this make to the regression results. Any of the two categories may be chosen as the base category. The regression results in both cases will be similar, even the R square remains the same. The only change will be in the intercept value and its t-value, and the sign of the beta coefficients will get reversed. Differential intercept coefficient states the difference that exists between the values of the intercept term of the two categories. It is also evident in the above example, where beta 1 represents by how much the mean cost of running occupational schools, that is alpha 1 plus beta 1, differ from the mean cost of running regular schools, alpha 1. Using dummy variables in regression analysis can be very convenient, but need to be used with caution. In the above example, we had two categories of schools. Therefore, the question is, why not use two dummy variables, one for each type of school? We do not do so because a case of perfect collinearity or multicollinearity may emerge if a dummy variable is used for each category, and it is not possible in that case to get unique estimates of parameters beta 1 and beta 2. Thus, we fall into something known as dummy variable trap. In order to avoid it, rule of thumb should be followed. The rule states if there are m categories in a particular model having a common intercept, then we should use m-1 dummy variables for the qualitative variable having m category. Before studying the example, let us introduce ourselves to it. Consider the following example. Suppose that hourly wages are influenced by marital status and region of residence. There are two attributes or qualitative variables with two categories each in this example. The dependent variable is hourly wages. Married and unmarried are the two categories of one of the attribute marital status. On the other hand, South and others combined together are the two categories of the other attribute region of residence. Here we are trying to find the relation between hourly wages in relation to marital status and region of residence. The equation yi is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1 d2i plus beta 2 d3i plus mu I represents our model by using dummy variable. Here, as shown by the equation, y represents hourly wage, d2 is for marital status and takes value 1 for married and 0 otherwise. D3 is equal to region of residence and takes value 1 for south and 0 otherwise. Mu I represents the error term. As mentioned earlier, this example has two qualitative variables with two different categories, namely one, marital status with two categories, married and unmarried; two, region of residence with categories south and all other regions together. This simple table explains how we can simplify the regression by the use of dummy variable D for representing marital status. The table represents the two categories by use of binary digits, where 1 is assigned to married and 0 to unmarried. This table simply explains how we can simplify the regression by the use of dummy variable D for representing region of residence. The table represents the two categories by the use of binary digits, where 1 is assigned to south and 0 to non-south residents. We, we obtained the following results after running the regression from the data. In the equation, yi is equal to 8.8148 plus 1.0997 d2i minus 1.6729 d3i. Y represents hourly wages in dollar. D2 is the dummy for married status. When its value is 1, it represents married. When its value is 0, it represents otherwise. D3 is the dummy for region of residence. When its value is 1, it represents south. When its value is 0, it represents otherwise. Star denotes the p-values. SE gives the standard errors of the benchmark category and the respective differential intercept coefficient for the two dummies, namely marital status and region of residence. The t values of the benchmark category and the respective differential intercept coefficient for the two dummies, namely marital status and region of residence, are represented by T. In the above example, two qualitative regressions have been taken. Each of them has two categories. Hence, a single dummy variable has been assigned for each category in order to avoid falling into a dummy variable trap following the thumb rule. If there are m categories in a particular model having a common intercept, then we should use m-1 dummy variables for the qualitative variable having m category. Hence, the benchmark category is unmarried non-south residences, that is, unmarried persons who do not live in the south are the category that has not been included. Hence, this category serves as the basis for all the comparisons. The results clearly show that about $8.81 is the mean hourly wage in this benchmark, that is, unmarried non-south residents. The average hourly wage of those who are married is higher by about $1.10 for an actual average wage of $9.91, that is equal to 8.81 plus 1.10 as compared to the base category. For an actual average hourly wage of $7.14 for those living in the South, the average hourly wage is lower by about $1.67. The statistical significance of the preceding average hourly wages are statistically different as compared to the base category is given by their p-values as they are quite low. It is important to note in this example that once more than one qualitative variables are used, the base category needs attention as all comparisons are made in relation to that category. To summarize, regression may consist of qualitative explanatory variables. Qualitative variables could range from gender to color to height to region, so on and so forth. These can be incorporated into regression by means of using dummy variables, which is one technique among various others. Hence, attributes or qualitative variables can be quantified by using an artificial variable called dummy variable. Such regression models are called ANOVA models. In such models, base category and differential intercept coefficient are two important concepts. Base category is the category against which all the comparisons are done and no dummy is assigned to this category. The differential intercept coefficient states the difference that exists between the values of the intercept term of the two categories. Using dummy variables is convenient, but it requires caution to avoid falling into what is known as the dummy variable trap. And therefore, the thumb rule must be adhered to, which states that if there are m categories in a particular model having a common intercept, then we should use m minus 1 dummy variables for the qualitative variable having m category.